I don't love you, but my heart still does. I don't love you, but my heart still does. Can't get over you all the way, 'cause I don't love you, but my heart still does.
Lee Richey keeping you company, Froggy 105.3, and I've been playing Rebecca Lynn Howard on the radio for a long time, and every time I play, I always say she's got one of the greatest voices in Nashville, and all of music, actually, and I'm so happy that she's released a new album because it gives me a chance to talk to her. Rebecca Lynn Howard, hello.
Well, hello. How are you? Long time no
doing
see.
Great. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
You've got a brand new album out. I'm not who you think I am. Well, just who the heck are you then? And what have you done with Rebecca?
That's $1 million question.
Right? Oh,
you know what? I figure it out.
Yeah. Well, where did the title come from? How did you come up with that?
It's actually one of the titles of the tracks on the album, but even deeper than that, I've been on such a musical journey the past 15 years that coming out with this new project, it's like everyone's perception of Rebecca Lynn Howard from what they knew of me all those years ago, it's a little different now. I've been through like a lot of musical evolution. I was Steven Tyler's bass player for 10 years and toured all over the world, with him. And so I feel like I wanted to incorporate not only, the country music that I grew up on and love, but also, that edge, because I love playing bass now. And so I played bass on almost the whole record.
Did you use your Paul McCartney bass?
Oh, on some of them I did, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
I sure did.
Fun fact, real quick. I was this close to wearing my Ramones t-shirt for this interview. Wouldn't have that been cool?
Do it.
I know, right? Rebecca Lynn Howard is our guest, brand new album, and so many great songs on the album. I've listened to the album a few times, as I was telling you, and to me, it comes off as a very inspirational album. From the very inspirational Strong to the equally inspirational Hoedown. Which I heard you sing that on Big D and Bubba a couple weeks ago, and. Let me backtrack. First, I heard you sing Blue Bayou, and I must have gotten 3 or 4 comments from people throughout the day that heard that and said, "My God, that was amazing!" And it was. That was wonderful.
I'm going back someday, come what may, to Blue Bayou, where the folks are fun and the world is mine on Blue Bayou, where those fishing boats with their sails afloat, if I could only see that familiar sunrise through sleepy eyes, how happy I'd be.
I don't know if that was stupid or just flat out brave.
It was
that
brave.
Early in the morning, I was like, oh gosh. But I've been out with Lee Bryce for, the past couple of years. And we just got off of that acoustic tour, that he does through the winter months. And so I opened a bunch of shows for him. And Blue Bayou was one of the ways that I started my set. And so, I'm just trying to incorporate like all these new musical elements that I've been doing the past, 10, 15 years into my show now. And like I said, that's why I called the album I'm Not Who You Think I Am, because it's like I'm this new version of myself, like the old me, but better.
I got to get the goofy question out of the way. When you were young and you were starting out in country music, did you ever want to be Becky Lynn?
No.
Okay, good. It just sounds so cliche, but I thought somebody along the lines must have said, "Oh, you got to be Becky Lynn."
Yeah, that just sounded way too informal and like my mom was scolding me or something.
Oh, gotcha.
That's, you know what I mean? Because that's like Becky Lynn, if she did both names, I was like, oh, shoot, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Rebecca Lynn Howard is our guest, 2-time Grammy winner and a great new album out. I can't recommend getting it enough. We'll be playing it here on Froggy 105.3. You and I have met several times over the years, but I think this is the first time I've actually interviewed you, which is kind of cool.
That's wild. How
it is
come
wild.
It took that long?
Well, I think the first time I met you was way back when we were both about 17 in 2003 at CRS. And then I had the good fortune of getting one of our local choirs to perform with Kenny Rogers.
That's
for
right.
several,
I remember that.
Yes, several years in a row.
I have the picture of that still.
Do you really?
Do you remember that picture we took backstage?
I do. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Have that. Yeah. What a thrill that was to not only see you and but to Kenny. Kenny was and his people were so remarkably wonderful to the kids, and I mean anything you wanted. We've done this with other artists. It's like, well, can we videotape the kids when they do their thing? Kenny's like, whatever, do whatever you want, and we had a great time. And watching you was amazing.
Thank you. Well, Kenny, God rest his soul, he was a class act, and I tell you, I learned so much from being on the road with him.
The first snowman, the angel did say, was to certain portion, birds in fields as they lay. Wonders of his love and wonders of his love and wonders of his love.
And a special thank, if you will, for the Wayland Cohocton Choir under the direction of Lynn Richey.
One of the best pieces of advice that he ever gave to me. He was a big fan of mine, and that will always hold such a special place in my heart. But he said, Rebecca, a good vocalist can only work as long as their vocals hold out.
Mm-hmm.
But a great entertainer can work forever. And so it really made me start paying attention to all the bits that he would do in between the songs. You know what I mean? Engaging that crowd. And so that's my favorite part of my show, are my bits in between the songs, the stories, getting the people, drawing them in to my space, because I'm a very personal person. I like to think so. Yeah. But I do feed off of their energy as well. And I want to bring them into my space so we can just have a good show together, and he taught me that.
That is cool. And not everybody can do that either.
Well, I learned from the best.
There you go. Rebecca Lynn Howard is our guest. You mentioned as long as the vocals hold out. You are sounding better than ever, to be honest.
Thank you.
I don't know if you remember the last time I ran into you. I was hanging out with Alyssa Bonagora and Ruby Stewart. We're walking around backstage and at the Steven Tyler show, and I see this motley group hanging out. And I start talking to you, and then I think we both at the same time said, I know you. And we had a nice chat. Yeah, that was definitely a time in history. That almost feels like a million lifetimes ago to me. Just, the whole Steven thing. It's so wild. I can't even believe that happened. Touring all over the world with a rock icon. Yeah.
It's just, I can't wrap my head around it sometimes.
you seem just like a natural fit for that, which, I mean, and you're so country, but yet you're up there rocking away with the best of them.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I grew up in the Appalachian Mountains, and so that whole country thing comes so authentically to me, like it, because that just is who I am. But I also grew up singing Black gospel music and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of soul up in the mountains, it's not just the country music. So I feel like there's such a broad spectrum of influences that I grew up singing with and trying to imitate, when I was a little girl, and like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, Michael Bolton, like one of the most underrated singers of all time. Like, he was incredible. So I think that's what helped me, be able to rise to that occasion, with Stephen, because, man, he's a powerhouse.
Oh,
like,
he is.
How you've got to bring it from the bottoms of your toes. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to stand on the stage with him, you better dig down deep.
Is it true that you learned bass specifically for that gig and only had like a couple weeks to do it?
So I was playing, just some hymns at church, which weren't hard. But yeah, when we started the band as the Loving Mary Band. We were going to be a country band. And I was like, these songs are easy, like no problem, right?
Okay, sure.
Then we get the Stephen gig, and Marty Fredrickson, my bandmate, goes, all right, we're playing for Congress in 2 weeks, and we have to play these 5 Aerosmith songs. Like, what are you talking about?
Whoa.
I'm not a riff bass player, but it just goes to show you that you don't have to be 3 or 5 years old to start to master an instrument. Like, you just have to have dedication. And there was like, I didn't have another choice. I was the bass player in the band. So it's like, strap up, girl, let's do this. And I was the queen of YouTube tutorials and like digging into live performances and watching what was going on, and taught myself.
And the rest is history. And you were out there doing.
The rest is history.
So many great experiences. You really have. And you've got a brand new album out, I'm Not Who You Think I Am, on Lee Bryce's label. Is that right?
That's right. My husband, Alicia Hoffman, Lee Bryce, and Rob Hatch, who's an amazing songwriter here in Nashville. The 3 of them got together with some other friends of theirs that wanted to partner in the label, and they started this label, and we're like, well, let's put out a record. Alicia and I, we came off of the road with Stephen in, let's see, I think the European tour ended in at the end of 2018.
Okay.
And that's when we started making the record. So it's been all those years, but I could actually go back and say it's been 20 years in the making, because some of the songs on there are 20 years old. So this record it's really like a compilation of the past 20 years of my life and all the songs I've wanted to sing, and just really, it just wasn't the time. And so now everything is culminated and all the stars have aligned, and here it is. I'm so proud of it.
Oh, it's fantastic. Some of the songs, 17, love that track. Obviously, it's too late for us to go back now to be 17 again. But, to just think about that. And for any 16, 17, 18-year-olds listening to that, it's a great reflection. When did you write that one? Is that one that went back a ways?
20 years ago. I wrote that with Rachel Thibodeau, who's my best friend.
Oh, nice.
She's an amazing songwriter. She wrote that song Good Directions for Billy Currington, and that was our first song that we ever wrote together, was 17.
Wow.
And man, what a start to a wonderful relationship. But little did I know that, the song we were writing all those years ago was really for myself now.
Yeah.
I look back and I'm like, how did I even know to write that then? I wasn't even at a place where 17 was that far away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's much further away now. And it's like, of course, I relate to it so much more now. So there's a few songs on the record that hit me like that. Like when I wrote them, I knew they were great songs, but that I just wasn't ready to sing them yet.
Strong is, I just saw the video for that this morning. What a powerful song that is.
Out of the ashes, she rose from the dust again. Shake it off, shake it off. This ain't the first time she's had to fight to win. Shake it off, shake it off.
Thank you. Well, that's actually another one that I had no idea I was writing it for myself. Now, we wrote that probably 15 years ago. My husband and myself and the group Smithfield, you know, we were actually writing, like trying to maybe write for them. And I was like, gosh, this sounds like something that I would do. But I wasn't making a record then, you know. Yeah. And the past 3 years of my life literally have been the most difficult years I've ever walked through. Some days I'm like, I don't even know how I'm standing up. I lost my dad 3 years ago. I've gone through chronic illness. Like, it's just like so much. And I have literally clawed my way back to life. And that's why I feel like the song, I was writing it for myself now. It's my testimony.
Isn't that
now.
Crazy? Wow.
Yeah. It is, and it took on a whole new life. I just about can't make it through it because I get so emotional. You know, because when you're in the mire, in the pit, you don't think that you're ever going to see the sunlight again. You don't believe it, you know, but you just keep clawing your way out. And then eventually you see that light at the end of the tunnel and you just keep on. You know, I would tell myself, like, what other choice do you have? You have no other choice. Can't lay down and die. Yep. So keep clawing, keep climbing your way up. And that's what I did. And that's what strong means to me. It's like, it's my anthem now.
Good for you. Good for you. Check out the video, folks. Check it out on YouTube. Rebecca Lynn Howard, Strong, the album. Brand new, I'm Not Who You Think I Am. And a song, the other song you played on Big D and Bubba, it was Hoedown. That sounds like a fun song. Somebody messaged me. They heard it on Froggy. We have them on in the morning. And they said, when are you guys going to start playing that song?
Man, that song is a hoot. And it's been kind of a cult following song of mine for years. Because after I wrote it, that was probably another 15 years ago song. And I started playing it out live, and it became just as popular with my fans as Forgive was. And it wasn't
really?
Even released. When people would come to my shows, if I didn't play Hoedown, like, they were really upset. They were like, you got to play Hoedown. That's our favorite song.
How cool.
So that was really that, you know, the driving force behind why I wanted to put that on the record, because it's just a fan favorite. And how can you not? Because I want to give people what they want to hear, you know?
Sure. What's the newest song on the record?
The newest song on the record is Heart Still Does, I believe. Seems like that's the newest song, and that's the first song that we wrote when we got off of the road with Stephen. And we were me and Alicia, we were renovating our house at that time. And my house was uninhabitable, like it was gutted. Oh. And you know how that goes. It's like supposed to take 4 months and it takes a year. And so we get off of the road. We have nowhere to live. Our house is like completely not habitable. And so we moved into Rob Hatch's studio apartment over top of his garage. He was like, well, this is great time to start making this record. So y'all come over here, stay here. And so that's what we did. We stayed up in that little studio apartment and set up shop, and Janae Fleener came over to, you know, visit, and we were just hanging out with her. She played a few of the Stephen shows with us too. And so, you know, we were just sitting around talking. I was like, hey, I've got this idea, and I've had it for a long time. I don't love you, but my heart still does. And you know, initially it was like, well, this could be really like a great love, like a heartbreak ballad, and I was like, you know what? Forget that. Let's do something fun. And it literally fell out in 15. It's just like we were singing it and it was already written. It just fell out. It was one of those. And I was like, I love this. So the vocal that you hear on the record is the scratch demo vocal that we did that night.
Really, it's fantastic. Great up tempo. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's got that little sass and tongue in cheek, which I love.
Very cool. Well, good luck with it. It's so good to talk to you, and it's good to hear the new music. What do you got down the road? You're going to be out doing shows?
Yeah, just playing shows and doing the thing. I have a cut on Trisha Yearwood's new album, so things for me as a songwriter going really great.
It's funny because I was on the air this morning, and I was talking about the interview that we were going to talk to you, and the next song up was Lipstick by Runaway June. I'm like, speak of the devil. I mean, you're all over the place.
I try. Songwriting is just as much a part of who I am as my singing. And to be honest, I didn't move to Nashville to be a songwriter. It just happened that was the part of my career that took off first. And I always appreciated the craft of songwriting. And the more I've done it over the years, I just love it. I couldn't live without songwriting. It's been the greatest release for me, and it's helped me through my grief, and it's helped me through being sick and like trying to be well and heartbreak and like all the things. I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't write songs.
It's always been kind of a mystery to me, like how you guys do that. I mean, do you sit down with the intention of writing a song, or does something hit you and you grab a pen and a paper, or a little bit of both? A
little bit of both. I mean, we definitely make appointments and co-writes and stuff where we go in the intention of writing. But sometimes, for instance, fun fact, when I was shooting the video of Strong, I just had gotten over the flu. So flu was going around. I caught it as we were out traveling about, and I had just gotten over that. And it's so nuts. Like the things that we pull inspiration from, we can be laying in the bed with the flu. And I was like, hey babe, go get me the ukulele. I have a song idea. I'm laying there with tissues all around me and hot tea. And I'm like, I have a song idea. And you can barely make it out on my little voice recorder. But, I was like, I have this song. I got to put it down.
That is awesome.
Because it won't get out of my head if I don't go for it,
Yeah. The album is great. Good luck with it. And hopefully we'll see you up here in New York. We'll get the Waylon Cohocton Choir to sing with you to bring back some Kenny Rogers memories.
That'd be awesome.
Safe travels, and good luck with the album. And we've got more music on the way. Froggy 105.3.
Yay! 'Cause there's a hole